Hello. For this assignment, the person I interviewed is my cousin Paloma Reese. Her story is kind of unique, just because she has three different migration stories. You could say she was born in Chicago, Illinois, and around the age of 2, she moved to Denver, Colorado, and then from there she kind of started kindergarten, first grade, I believe in second grade as well. She was about 7 or 8 when she moved to she went back to Mexico, the farm where I was raised, and then from there she studied till she was a freshman in high school, and she kind of grew up there. She still believes that she spent most of her childhood in Mexico. However, just like 2 years ago, yeah, however, just 2 years ago, she came over here. She came back to the United States over here in Phoenix, Arizona, and she started her sophomore year of high school here. But just for that time period that she was in Mexico, living in Mexico with her parents, just she kind of the culture kind of got to her, and she still believes she's more. She grew up more in Mexico. She still has those beliefs, and that culture stuck with her. So when she came over here, she started off in the English language learner class, like the lower ones, and even she acknowledges that she struggled to fit in with people that already spoke English, but she does say that she became comfortable in the school zone just because the school environment she goes to is kind of has a big diversity, and a bunch of it's Hispanic people. So she kind of mixed in well, you could say. She kind of mixed in well just because she knows Spanish and she was able to communicate with a lot of the students. It was just with teachers and non-Spanish speaking students where she struggled more. She said she would get picked in class sometimes, just like picked so she could answer a question, or sometimes let's say she needed help but she just couldn't explain it in words. She said she would just be quiet the whole time. Sometimes she'd just come home from school and she would ask me like, "Oh, can you help me with this and that?" And she definitely struggled in there. Her last year, her was this last year when she was a sophomore. You could definitely see it in all the mandatory tests she had to take. It was definitely the English speaking skill that she lacked in. However, now, just like since she lives with us, she she kind of understands now. She understands it more than she can speak it, just because I talk a lot of English with my brother and my sister, and she'll make a couple comments in Spanish, and she'll laugh a couple times, or even she'll make little faces or something like that when we make a comment about her in English, and then she'll respond in Spanish again. But for the most part, she definitely understands English. It's just a speaking skill that she's lacking. But just like right now, this her second year, which is her junior year right now, she's definitely shown progress just because she has been able to have conversations with I guess the average person, you could say. Sometimes sometimes when she first got here, let's say we go to the store or something, and she definitely says that she will struggle just to ask like a, an employee, just like even where the bathrooms were, the simplest questions, or if they had so and so and so size, or where certain things were in the store. She would struggle with those simple things, and sometimes she just wouldn't ask, or she'd struggle with the things that she preferred to struggle than ask for help. But now she's definitely been more comfortable, and she's out there. She's a lot more outspoken now. She definitely loves to. She's talkative. So now that she kind of acquired the English language just a bit, she's definitely out there having conversations with people. But every once in a while, she does say like, she'll come up to me like, "Oh, Rodrigo, did I say this right?" Or she still has that. At the end of the conversation, let's say she'll keep a couple words in, and she'll definitely come up to me later and ask me, "Did I say this right?" Or does so and so actually mean this? It's just those like little things that she still hasn't been able to figure out. But for the most part, let's say what she learned in the few years she went to school in Denver, she kind of like slowly remember things and just like slowly make connections. And she's honestly further ahead than most of her friends who she goes to school with. She's she's around she's placed in three general ed classes, like for the typical student, while most of her friends are still in the ELA classes or well yeah, basically the lower English classes. She's been able to go into the mainstream classes, you could say. She definitely acknowledges that she's struggled a lot her first year here even living with us and in school. But she's definitely she's definitely communicating more. And I remember a big part. She says a big part why she struggled was mainly because it wasn't her choice to come here, Arizona, exactly. Her she definitely she definitely wanted to come to the United States and learn English and just the different skills she had, just because she has the opportunity because she was born here. But her first choice was to go to Chicago with our other family members, just because they say my dad's a lot stricter. But as she like started living with us and everything, she's kind of opened up to the idea that this is my new home, and she's just kind of fine with it now at this point. But she does say that this Phoenix wasn't my first choice. If it was up to me, I would have definitely gone to Chicago instead. It was mainly her parents that forced her to come here, but she acknowledges it and she's always grateful for it. And that's the story of my cousin's migration. It's nothing, I would say, it's nothing as, I guess, like intense as when I crossed over to the United States, just because she was born here and she had her citizenship, so she just commuted on the bus. She just crossed in the bus. And oh, and by the way, she crossed and I was actually with her when she crossed, just so she had that person to kind of help her out, just even at the border customs, just so she could cross. And when they ask her questions, I'll just translate it in Spanish to her. But for the most part, kind of kind of mixed in well with, I guess, the new culture she's experiencing here. And aspect to the story of my cousin, follow Maurice.